Hello, welcome to this week's results show. Nice to have you back. Okay, so we're going to talk about the results from the 29th of July onwards. We're going to chat about the societies, who's played, the competitions they played, the winners, and the ones who didn't perform quite so well. Okay, so here we go. We start on Tuesday, the 29th of July with Las Gaviotas. They played 9 holes, 3 from 4 to count. The reason for the 9 holes was we were being followed by a little pool party hosted by Susan Lyons. More of that later. So the team in first place were Pam Andrew, Alison Vasey, Sue Brew and Mags Ray. And in second place, Hayley Barker, Susan Lyons, Irene Langley and Vron Porter. So they were quickly followed by Sprightly Golf Society, who played a Pinehurst, 3 scores to count on pars 4 and 5, and all to score on par 3s. The team in first place with 150 points, Dave Spooner, Martin Geary, Hebby and Martin Wilkins. Second place with 137, Thomas McQuilter, Keith Humphrey, Pete Constable and Colin Reid. And in third place with 136 points, Gary Davis, Jim Hall, Spencer Truman and Dave Bennett. The nearest the pins on hole 3, Hebby, on hole 5, Colin Reid, on hole 11, Hebby again, on hole 13, Martin Geary, and hole 8 into Jim Hall. So then we move on to Wednesday. Wednesday Golf Association on the 30th of July played a World Handicap qualifier. The person in first place with 39 points was Dave Noakes. In second place with 38 points, Steve Gill. And in third place with 35 points, Eugene Toy. On Thursday, the Thursday Friendly Golf Society played a Texas Scramble. It was a team game. In first place with net 59.1, Glenn Trigg, Gary Greenfield, Brian Arnold and a ghost player. In second place with 59.6, Jim Hall, Ray Lyons, Gordon Nielsen and Ken Halley. And in third place with 60.1 net, Martin Geary, Spencer Truman, Paul Weeks and Les Skipsey. The nearest the pins on hole 3, Martin Wilkins, on hole 5, Spencer Truman, and hole 11 and hole 13, Martin Geary. Okay, on Saturday, the 2nd of August, we didn't have any society games because we had our Forget Me Not Charity Day, which was really well supported. We had 22 teams, which was fabulous. So all holes were sponsored as well by local businesses. So thank you so much to local businesses for getting involved there. So it's a Texas Scramble game, again, all for charity. Team in first place with 56 points. It's quite a complicated count back. I'll get Rob to explain that later. Were Norman Morgan, Kieran McGibney, Steve Cronk and Dave Hackett. In second place, Steve Gill, Spencer Truman, Martin Geary and Brett Wilcox. Sadly for them, because they won the last couple of charity days, but they came in second this time. Also on 56 points, Dave Barker, Rab Young, Mike Jones and Lee Friott. The nearest the pins, Steve Parsons on hole 3, Andy Jones on hole 5, Richard Gale on hole 11 and Dave Noakes on hole 13. So all in all, it was a fabulous day. There was just, well, €2,000 raised for Forget Me Not. So thanks everybody for getting involved in that. It was a fantastic day. Okay, so on the Sunday, Cat's Bar played, beg your pardon, we'll move back from that. Cat's Bar were on the Saturday. There was no game because it was the charity day. So on the Sunday, the Black Bull Golf Society played an individual Stableford game. In first place with 36 points, Dave Smith. Second place with 33 points, John Keane. And in third place, Paul Carter with 32 points. They were followed by Sunshine Golf Society, who played a waltz 1, 2, 3. Again, a lower number of players because obviously of the golf charity day on the Saturday. Team in first place with 93 points, Colin Reid, Paco Belchi and Ian Butters. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Gary Lovejoy. On hole 5 and hole 11, Colin Reid. And hole 13, Bob Lawrenson. Okay, so Tuesday, the 5th of August, Las Gaviotas didn't have a game. Sprightly Golf Society played a reverse waltz, 3-2-1. The team in first place with 95 points, Dave Spooner, Glenn Trigg, Hebby and Spencer Truman. Second place with 87 points, Bob Evans, Colin Reid, Tony Jones and Pete Constable. And third place with 84 points, Les Skipsey, Ray Lyons, Phil Helton and Camille Vertonghen. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Martin Geary. On hole 5, Glenn Trigg. Hole 11, Spencer Truman. And hole 13, Gordon Nielsen. And nearest the pin in 2 on 8 was Hebby. Wednesday, Golf Association. Wednesday the 6th of August, they played stroke play off the yellow tees with 2 scores to count. In first place, Steve Gill, Luke Sharp and Keith Halliwell with 54 net. In second place, Eugene Toy, Simon Rowbottom, Terry Colvin with 57 net. And on countback in third place, Kieran McGibney, Jim Chapman and Bob Lawrenson with 57 net. There were 5 twos on that day: Trev Andrew, Jim Chapman, Kieran McGibney, Steve Cronk and Terry Colvin. A couple of individual scores to note as well. A net score of 61 by Luke Sharp, 67 Terry Colvin, 68 and net and also 68 Steve Gill and John Leyland. Okay, Thursday Golf Society, they had a pairs better ball. Team in first place with 73 points, Ray Lyons and Camille Vertonghen. Also with 73 in second place on countback, Pete Constable and Steve Gill. In third place with 71, Jim Hall and Phil Helton. And with 68 points in fourth place, Ken Halley and Keith Humphrey. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Camille Vertonghen. On hole 5, Steve Carter. Hole 11, Spencer Truman. And hole 13, Camille Vertonghen. Saturday, Clubhouse Golf Society on the 9th of August played Stableford, men off the yellows, ladies off the reds. 2 to score on par 5s, 3 to score on par 4s and all to score on par 3s. Team in first place, Steve Gill, Jimmy Butt, Alistair Ray and Mick Drummond. In second place, Glenn Trigg, Phil Holton, Gary Davis and Glenn Elliott. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Steve Gill. Nearest the pin on hole 5, Hayley Barker. Nearest the pin on hole 11, Jimmy Butt. On hole 13, Hebby. And hole 4 in 3, Glenn Trigg. Cats Bar, Saturday the 9th of August, played Pinehurst 2 to score. First place team, John Leyland, Simon Rowbottom and Kieran McGibney with 102 points. Second place, Dave Hackett, Bernie McCluskey and Keith Halliwell with 92 points. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Dave Hackett, and hole 13, John Leyland. And then Sunday the 10th of August, the Black Bull Society played individual Stableford. Similar to the previous week, in first place, Dave Smith with 35 points. In second place, John Keane with 34 points. And in third place, Paul Carter with 30 points. There was one twos winner, Dave Smith, who got a 2 on the 5th, but apparently didn't get around in. And they were followed by Sunshine Golf Society on the 10th of August, who played their World Handicap qualifying game. 2 divisions. Division A, first place, Dennis Jones with 38 points. Second place, Rob Greatley with 38 points. And Division A, third place, Ray Lyons with 38 points, obviously all done on countback. In Division B, first place, Neil Smith with 38 points, popular score. Division B, second place, Luke Sharp with 37, and third place, Gary Davis with 36. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Rob Greatley. Nearest the pin on hole 5, Ray Lyons. Hole 13, Colin Reid. Nearest the pin on hole 8 in 2, Ray Lyons. And hole 15 in 3, Hayley Barker. There were just twos, Neil Smith and Rob Greatley. Okay, so that pretty much rounds up the results for this week. Thank you for looking in. That's enough of the results for the last 2 weeks. So joining me today in the studio is Rob Greatley.
Hi again, Hayley. Hi everybody, thanks again for watching. So what are we going to talk about today?
Right, so a bit of a topical show today. I think because we had a meeting recently.
We did.
On Monday, we discussed a number of different things, and it was a general meeting, and people were invited to come and join us to raise any issues that they had, and just to talk about how the committee works, how things work at the golf club, and yeah, just to kind of answer a few questions that some of the members have been raising recently. So we started with how the committee works and how the structure works up at the golf club.
Yep.
Okay, so essentially we have 3 official members.
We do.
Of the committee. We have a captain.
We do.
We have a vice captain, and we have a treasurer.
Correct.
And traditionally, the captain serves 12 months.
Yeah.
And then the vice captain takes over from them.
Yep.
The treasurer can remain for however long they want to, however long they're interested, until new members come along, new people come involved and bring different ideas into the club.
Correct.
Okay. So essentially, for this year, we have we have seven members.
Okay.
We have 3 officials and 4 voluntary members.
Members, yeah.
Yeah, who are all representing the societies on Camposol. So the 4 other committee members that we have all basically cover most of the societies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair assessment, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep. So the questions that were raised, one of the main questions was, why don't we vote committee members in?
Right.
Okay, and I think the main answer to that is because there aren't enough people who want to get involved.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, we put out an email, or you put out an email, end of last year asking for people to volunteer. And we need volunteers, let's be honest. Every committee needs volunteers. So your opportunity at the end of this year to get yourself involved. But we only had 7, including the as we said, the 3 officers. And so there's really no need to have an election because those people who volunteered are de facto elected.
De facto elected.
De facto elected.
Yeah. I mean, how can you vote somebody in when there's nothing to vote?
No, it would be pointless.
Yeah.
So what we're hoping is at the end of this year, now that we've had this discussion, is we get a lot more people volunteering, and then we'll need to have an election to elect the 9 or the 6 committee members, because obviously we've all had the 3 officers. So hopefully this year we'll actually need an election. So
our ideal number would be 9.
Yeah, I think 3 officers and 6.
Any more than that would be, I think,
unmanageable.
Unmanageable.
Yeah.
It needs to be sort of.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you don't want to commit it as too small. You really wouldn't get a broad spectrum of ideas. But if you start having too many, then you get conflict and you don't achieve anything. So I think we've agreed that 9, including the 3 officers, is an ideal number.
Yeah. No, so that's good. So for this year, obviously, when the new captain takes over, in what is going to be early January, there will be something put out to everybody. And if you want to get involved, please do, because there's lots of skills which people have brought to them to Camposol. We're all sort of retired kind of age, or almost there. But we've all got good skill sets from what we've done back in the UK, and we can really utilise them. So it'd be great for people to put their names forward, get involved. It's a committee meeting once a month, which is for an hour and a half, depending on what we need to discuss. And then obviously getting involved in other things, competitions. We have the charity days. You need to get involved with check-in on the competition days. So it's not a huge commitment, but it is quite interesting, and it just means that if you've got things that you think you would like to have an influence over, this is your chance to get involved. So please do.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, the other thing you talk about on competition days, I mean, there are lots and lots of small jobs that need to be done. So every volunteer is gold dust.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because we tend to do those small jobs mostly.
Yeah, some of us do a lot more than others.
Yeah, and the big jobs. But no, most of the committee will always, they always get involved.
Yeah, of course.
Just on everything, like whether it's selling football cards or whatever it is. there's plenty for people to do.
Yeah, bear in mind, of course, it's always good to have people back up because people can be ill, people can be away. It's good to have a backup from somebody who can do a job that somebody normally does because, then the whole thing keeps running. That's what we want.
Yep, that is. So the other part of the meeting was involved with, we asked people to come forward and just tell us for their ideas about what they think should be happening around the course. At this point, though, I should just point out that as a committee, we don't have a huge amount of influence on what goes on physically on the course, and the main point is PACO owns the golf course.
Yep.
We're, as a committee, are just a conduit between the members and the owners.
Correct. Camposol is not a members club. When we pay our subscription, we're basically becoming members of a commercial golf course. And PACO is the owner, or certainly the lessee at the moment, and he's the one who makes the decisions on the golf course. We can put forward ideas, but at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to do them, nothing we can do about it.
Yeah. But we can still be that channel.
Absolutely,
to feed things
of course,
through.
Yeah.
So
we're not saying that people don't come forward with ideas. What we're saying is that we've got a limited amount of power, if you use a use of a word. But at the end of the day, the final decision is Paco Fernandez, not ours.
Yeah. Okay. But we'll talk about some of the things that came forward in the meeting, things that people put forward, because they are topical.
Yeah.
And I think it's relevant for people to know this. So.
Absolutely.
So just a couple of them. We started with one point that was brought forward was hole 15, the out of bounds. Now I know we've talked about this on a previous show, and I think we actually were wondering about why the out of bounds was there in the first place.
Yeah.
And now we've kind of moved on from that a little bit.
I kind of understand it. I mean, I kind of understand why it was introduced in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point that was made was that the out of bounds markers were not positioned quite in the right place, because anything right of the path is out of bounds, but the stakes are not quite in the right position. So you might have like 6 inches. So is your ball out of bounds because the marker says it's there, but the rule says it's there? So we're going to put that right.
We hope to.
We hope to put that right by clearing the path first of all, to get rid of the pine leaves and all the debris, and then actually painting a line.
Yeah. So what we basically want is a definitive left-hand side of the path going down the hole, and the left edge of the path is the boundary for out of bounds.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So it's clarified, and there's no contentious issues regarding is it or isn't it?
No, exactly. I mean, that's the idea. I mean, the thing is, we've got stakes out at the moment, but we understand we've not had much rain. The ground's hard. The stakes sometimes get taken out, can't get put back in again.
Yeah.
So the best thing we can do is to paint a line down the left-hand side of the path, and that will be the boundary.
Yeah, which obviously we'll have to maintain that line because it's going to fade over time, and they'll cut the grass and it'll go. So we just have to make sure that we just keep that line constant.
Yeah.
But the other point about the reason for the out of bounds, that was again addressed, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
But I think the point that we made there was that and again, this was assessed by the Federation. This was not our decision. This was assessed by the Federation way back when we adopted the World Handicap. And it's stroke index 4. So it actually reflects the difficulty
and I think
of having the out of bounds in place.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the out of bounds away, then that makes the hole easier.
Yeah.
So the chances are, if the Federation would have to come back and reassess the course, they'd almost certainly change the stroke index of the course. They would also probably change the course rating, the slope rating.
Yeah.
It's too complicated.
And as we said at the start of this, PACO has said that there is going to be nothing structural.
No material changes to the
golf course. No
material
changes to the golf course, and for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair because there's a cost involved, and I think I would. I'm sure you would. I'm sure the whole committee would, and I'm probably sure the members would prefer that money to be spent on the golf course rather than admin.
On improving the golf course rather than changing the structure of the golf course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
sensible, isn't it?
I agree. One other question that was raised was about the stroke index on hole 18. Some of the members feel that it's at a par 4, it's quite difficult to get to the green in 2 shots because you've got the water to clear, it's uphill, it's quite a long par 4. But again, it's the same question.
Yeah.
We don't have any control over that.
No,
You know,
I mean, I mean, first of all, we probably couldn't change the stroke index now, but even if we were able to, if the stroke index on hole 18 changes, then one of the other holes on that 9 has to change as well to accommodate it.
And again, it's changing the structure of the course.
Yeah.
There's a cost implication.
Yeah.
The federation have to be involved. So, you know, and we've been told categorically that this is
Well, I mean, I
happening.
personally don't think even if the federation visited, they would class it as a par 5 because it's shorter than a lot of the other par 4s on the course. So, yeah.
And stroke index, is it
12 now?
Is it 12?
Yeah, it used to be 8, now 12.
So some of the higher handicaps, they're going to get a shot on there anyway, which effectively makes it a par 5.
Yeah, I mean, you just use your shots that you're getting to try and achieve.
Yeah. And we've moved the drop zone now to the other side of the water.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that we've changed in the fact that if you do go into the lake or you go into penalty area now, you're in the drop zone, which is the other side of the lake.
Yeah.
Whereas before, you were having to go back to the ladies' tee, which you still have a portion of the lake to get over.
Yeah.
So we've made the hole easier already.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of that's that one addressed as well.
I think so, yeah.
One other one was hole 17, which I know we talked about on a previous show. We've changed the local rule so that the free relief comes back from between the tee box and the corner where it was before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit complicated.
Just needs clarifying.
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated, but we talked about, we tried to simplify what we're trying to achieve. So between the tee and where the concrete, but we're just past the concrete bunker, just on the corner, there's a concrete gutter that runs to the left-hand side of the path.
Of the path, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if your ball lands in the concrete gutter, under normal circumstances, you're going to get free relief. You would have to drop your ball on the left-hand side into all the...
In the pine straw.
Well, it's not even pine straw, it's stones
it's
and
nonsense,
and
isn't it? Yeah.
And we feel as a committee that it would be dangerous to do that. So what we've done is set up a local rule to say that if your ball is in the concrete gutter, instead of having to take a free relief on the left-hand side of the path, you can take relief on the right-hand side of the path.
Yeah.
So
that's from the area, from the tee box. So we just need to clarify this. It will be updated in the local rules just to make it crystal clear.
Well, I think it already is. I just think it's difficult to...
It's open to interpretation.
It's very difficult to,
You know, so it's from the end of the tee boxes to where the corner is, where we had the original local rule.
Yeah, it's about what, 4 or 5 yards past the concrete bunker.
And it just applies to the guttering, the gully.
On the left-hand side to
on
that
the
point.
left-hand side,
to that point.
not up on the bank. If it's up on the bank, you play it as it lies.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just if it lands in that gully, you don't have to move it to that side. You can move it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the left-hand side of the path, on the not in the guttering but further over, then basically that's part of the general area. So it's not a penalty area; it's part of the general area. You've got to play the ball as it lies.
Yeah.
You get free relief either from the path or from the guttering. Instead of having to drop on the left-hand side of the path, you could drop it on the right.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Okay.
But further on, it gets a little bit more complicated.
It does because you've got the bank. So
yeah, so we've got the big bank, which is where all the trees and everything are up. That's part of the general area.
Yeah.
So if the ball lands up there.
If it lands on that bank, but you've got the slope leading up to the bank,
that's a different part.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the left-hand side of the path, you've got the little bank that then leads up onto the bank. Yeah. So what we're saying is, if the ball lands against that steep vertical 1 yard bank on the left-hand side of the path, once again you would normally have to take relief on the bank on the left-hand side of the path. But what we're saying is we don't want to see people climbing up and down the bank and basically injuring themselves and what have you. So what we decided is, if you're on the very short vertical part of the bank to the left-hand side of the path, you get your free relief on the right-hand side of the path.
And that's been a local rule for some time
now.
Yeah,
it has. I just think that people haven't really understood it.
Yeah. And because we've now extended it to the other area, just need to clarify that and just make sure that it's crystal clear in the local rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay. Couple of other small things. GUR areas on hole 8 and hole 12. Now, they've been GUR for as long as most people can remember.
Yeah.
So we recently took away the GUR and they are just in normal play now.
So
again, questions were raised about why is it GUR? Why is it not GUR anymore?
Right.
You know, because it's not being repaired.
No, it's not under repair.
But it's never ever going to be repaired.
No.
So you can't really call it GUR.
No.
GUR being ground under repair if it's not actually being repaired. So now we've taken away those GUR stakes, and it's now just general play.
Just part of the general area.
Yeah. And to be honest, there are certain areas on the course which are probably in worse condition than those GUR areas.
We could end up
anyway,
having general GUR areas all over the course.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of hole 14 on the fairway where there's like areas where parts of hole 17 on the left-hand side fairway, not much grass. Parts of hole 7. We can't mark every area of the course that hasn't got much grass on as a GUR. We just can't. So it's just part of the general area. Yeah.
And hopefully in time, you know, with all the work that's happening around the course, you know, work will start to happen on these areas to improve them. But, you know, in the current summer months with the, you know, no rain and everything else that's going on, it's...
Yeah, I think...
I don't see any improvement anytime really
I think
soon.
a little bit of patience is required.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to, not have so many areas where you're getting free relief.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. And other areas on the course, I mean, all the palm trees have all been pruned recently.
Excellent.
They're looking fantastic now, you know, so, and that helps a lot of people's game, you know, where you're taking the tiger line and you've got, you know, the palm trees are so much smaller now.
I mean, it makes the course look so much tidier.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah.
Okay. One other question that was raised, and again, it's on a similar sort of subject, was can we get free relief from woody weeds? Now, how do we classify a woody weed? You know, it's a good point. We've all been in them.
Yeah.
You know, your ball's stuck behind a weed which is like a brick.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't really do anything with it.
Not ideal.
But again, how do you interpret what a woody weed is?
Well, first of all, what I'd say is that societies, you can make your own rules up. If you're as a society captain or whoever wants to make a rule up for your societies that you get relief from these woody weeds, then fine, no problem.
Yeah, that's your choice. But in a competition,
is a little bit difficult. It's a little bit different. And now, a lot of the woody weeds actually are on what I would term as fairway.
Yeah.
There's only
on the 18th is quite bad, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a 12th and 16th on the run up to the green.
Yeah. But as I understand it, there is a machine currently being repaired which is going to...
Yeah, that machine has actually always been there.
Cut down all the woody weeds. I know they're going to grow back, but...
Well, yeah.
It's a short-term problem.
Well, my understanding from Stuart Firm, when Stuart Firm was there, is they had a machine that actually... is basically broken. I'm hoping it's the same one. That when it goes over to cut, it actually pulls them out of the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
So
it's not just cutting them down; it's actually
pulling them out of the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was my understanding from when Stuart was there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it's the same machine that we're talking about, I've been told that it's currently under repair. So hopefully,
maybe we
might get rid of them
have that problem anymore.
Weeds. Yeah. Okay. And just one main thing which was kind of addressed at the meeting was the subject of free relief on buggy paths.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to throw this over to you.
Well, it's contentious.
It's a contentious issue.
Okay. So once again, all societies, if you want to specify that you take free relief on a path, then that's not a problem with societies. Societies can make whatever rules they like. And as my understanding is, probably for the last 20 years, all societies have just
most societies have taken free relief from the buggy paths.
There is no general rule that specifically says automatically you get free relief if you are standing on the cart path. Okay, before I try and explain, I'm just going to show you something. So, all players, if you've got a smartphone, Android or Apple, I suggest you go onto the search and type in RNA. This app it's definition of all the rules. So even if you're out on the course and you've got a situation where you don't know whether you can take relief or what the situation is, you can go on there and you can find the rule, and it doesn't take very long. It's really interactive. It's very, very good. So I'm going to read from this, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, it was mentioned at the meeting that local rules can't change general rules. Well, that's not actually strictly true. And I'll just read this. This is from the RNA, and it basically says a local rule is a modification of a rule or an additional rule which the committee adapts for general play or a particular competition. So there we go. So that says.
Do you want to just, if you get that app up again,
Yeah.
can you just put that, just
Well,
so we can see it?
That's specific.
Just a minute ago.
There you go. So as far as the relief, if you're standing on the path, right? Rule 8.1a says that you can have relief if you're standing on the path, if that's the big word. That's a big word because what it does, it makes it subjective, right? So you can take relief, free relief, if you're standing on a car path, if your area of swing or your intended stance is affected. Okay, so somebody has to decide if you're. So if I can use an analogy here, if two teams of footballers played in a football match with no referee, and the players themselves decided whether they're fouled or not, you'd have anarchy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're not in a situation where we have competitions and everything where we can call up the referee and make the referees come down. So you basically have a situation where the players have got to agree. Okay? So if you have a situation where one person says, well, my stance is being affected, and the other person is saying, well, no, I don't agree that your stance is being affected, you're never going to get agreement. So what we decided to do was to introduce a local rule that basically cuts out the ambiguity. Okay, we discussed it, and we've went onto the RNA app that I've just showed you, and on the RNA app you can go to what's called committee procedures, and you can go through, and it gives you all lots of different model local rules that you can use to sort out situations like that.
Yeah.
And we found a model local rule, which is local model rule F17, and what we've basically done is we've changed paths from being abnormal course conditions, in which you'd have to prove that your stance was affected. So we've changed them to become integral object. I think it's integral objects. I think it's called. Let me just check and make sure. No, we've changed them to be immovable obstructions.
Obstructions, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the rule regarding immovable obstructions is you get relief.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah. Okay.
So now the local model rules, or the new model rule, the new local rule says that if you are standing on a cart path, which is an immovable obstruction, you get free relief.
Yeah. Okay.
No question.
So as you say, it's mainly to take out any ambiguity.
Yeah.
On that rule.
Yeah.
You know, because
it's not subjective anymore. You
can't,
don't need a referee.
Yeah.
That's it. You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
that's the
well, it
reason
just clears that up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, as you said before, a lot of societies have just played that local rule for many, many years.
Yeah.
But if you were to apply the actual
especially
rules
in competition.
Environment.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
the difference.
it just takes that element away from it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah.
Well, we've updated the local rules to that effect.
We have.
Hopefully that is now clarified and
definitely,
that draws a line under that
100% you get free relief if you're standing on a cart path because it's an immovable obstruction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
There
Thank
you go.
you. Good. No, good. And it was an interesting meeting on Monday.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, I think we got a lot of things cleared up.
Yeah.
One last point on that is that as a result of the meeting, we've decided that we've not decided. We have invited all members to come and talk to us. We have a committee meeting once a month, every second Monday of the month. The week before, we'll invite anybody to come forward with any ideas they've got, anything they want to talk about, or just any issues they've got, any concerns, or anything nice to say, really. And yeah, we'll talk about it at the committee meeting, and then as a result of that, everything will be fed back to the members. Not in terms of full minutes, but you know, we'll keep you updated with anything that's ongoing.
Yeah. I think the best thing is rather than, I mean, you have enough to do anyway yourself, but I mean, obviously, as we said earlier on, every committee member is a society captain or involved with a particular society. So go to the person
through your representative,
on your society, and then they can bring it forward to the meeting, and we can discuss it, and then we can disseminate the information.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, we want everybody's input. That's the main thing.
Yeah, we do. We don't have all the
100%.
answers.
No, definitely not. But yeah, we want everybody's input. We can't give everybody what you want, but we can certainly give you the reasons why we can't necessarily do it.
And take on board ideas.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what we're here for. We're here to represent everybody, so that's the
Absolutely,
key point.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Right. Thanks, Rob.
Great to be here.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks.
you. Okay. If you're interested in playing with any of the societies mentioned, please get in touch with the golf shop, and they'll connect you with the relevant captain. And if you'd like your society featured on our results show, which we did earlier, get in touch and we'll let you know how you can get involved. Thank you for joining us, Rob.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Keep watching.
It's been good.
Keep watching.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.